Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to Growing Wisdom. Today we're talking about transplanting your houseplants into a larger pot. I'm working today with a ponytail palm that has outgrown its home, and we're going to move it into a new one. What I'm talking to you about today could be applied to any plant that's outgrown its home. So we have this asparagus fern over here. You can see how thick and fleshy those roots are. That's the next one to be moved, but we'll concentrate on the ponytail palm. So this ponytail palm is in a plastic pot. It has outgrown it. As we pull it out, you can see all the fleshy roots, and we're going to move it into a new pot. When you're moving plants from one size pot to another, I tend to increase only by 1 or 2 sizes. So a 10-inch to a 12 or a 14-inch, but not a 16-inch. If your pot is too big, the plant will be surrounded by moist soil where there's no roots, and that can cause root rot. So today we're going to change the plastic pot and put it into a clay pot. I'm doing that because this particular plant tends to like it on the drier side, so I'm okay with using a clay pot which dries out a little bit faster. If your plant is in a plastic pot and it needs a lot of moisture, I don't recommend transferring to clay because clay dries out so much faster and it can create a watering issue for you. In other words, the plant dries out just too quickly. You want to be sure the pot has a drainage hole, which this one does. We put a little old piece of clay pot in the bottom so the soil doesn't fall through. And then we've added a little bit of soil here so that when we put the plant in, it's raised up a little bit. I generally like to leave 1 to perhaps 2 inches between the top of the pot and where the plant will rest. That's for watering. If I were to put this all the way up at the top, what would happen is as I watered, the water would just roll off. You want to create a little bit of a reservoir for that water as you're watering the plants. Now, it is root bound. You just don't want to put it in its new home without scoring the roots, much as you would do with a plant that you were putting in the ground. We're going to cut off the bottom 1 to 2 inches of roots. I'm using an old saw, so I don't care if it gets damaged. And then I'm going to score the side roots here, and that'll help to encourage the roots to grow into the new soil. After the plant is transplanted, I'll actually put it in light shade because I don't want to expose it to strong sun. Now, today's a great day. It's mostly cloudy, and the next few days are going to be cloudy, so I find this a wonderful time to transplant. Speaking of time of the year, I like to do my transplanting in early to mid-spring. That's when plants are exhibiting a lot of growth. That's when there's a lot of new root growth. I do not like to transplant my plants in the fall or winter because the plants, my house plants, tend to be dormant and they're not exhibiting a lot of new root growth, and so it's just not a great time to move them. Once the plant is in its new home, be sure you've really pushed down on the soil to keep it nice and compact in there. And then just water it as you regularly would, being sure that you water close to the existing plant's root ball, because remember, there's no roots at the edges just yet. That will take a few months. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.